Well, ladies and gentlemen, the election is finally over. And before I even get to it, you know, I think I just got to take just a huge breath of relief. We finally wrapped it up. It's over with. Regardless of who you voted for. If you didn't know who won the presidential election. Once again, Donald Trump, has won it. And bro, all I can say is, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of being an adult. I am. Despite what I went through in my personal life, just being the everyday adult, man, it gets tiring. Like, I'm done. There's one thing, the older generation can no longer tell us 90s kids and like, oh, or even younger than that, oh, y'all don't understand how good y'all got it. When you think about it, you don't realize how good y'all had it. Because I remember about 20 years ago, the last election back in like 04, you had Bush and Kerry. I think his name was Kerry, right? George W. Bush, at the president at the time, he was going against John Kerry, I believe. Yeah, John Kerry or no, not Kennedy. I'm tripping. John Kerry, I think. And that's exactly what it was. It was just a simple debate. He had disagreements here and there. Even in 2008 with Obama, man, and John McCain, they were both logic people. Even back in 2012, Obama and Mitt Romney, they were both logic people. Like whoever you voted for, I mean, that is what it is. Now it's like, what? I just like, no, huh? It was low key boring. I remember that. I was like 13 years old. I remember watching it here and there. Of course, I wasn't fully interested, but it was boring. And when you think about it, it was what it was supposed to be. Just a simple, election of Republican and Democrat, what they disagree on. At the end of the day, man, Bush, he won again. He won, for 4 more years. And, it's crazy back then. A lot of people, we didn't like, Bush what he was and stuff. Boy, when you fast forward to now, it's like, regardless of your political beliefs, I'm like, man, this is where we're at in society. In 2024, this is where we're at. But look, man, once again, I had no problem with Kamala Harris being a woman, and if you do know me, and I might have said I believe I've said this on the podcast before, in the Clutch podcast, but I say it pretty much every day. Look, y'all want the perfect president in the White House, man. Y'all got to put a big mama in there. Elderly black woman, bro. That is the way to go. Because no matter who you are, man, you ain't gonna lie, big mamas have always been there for you, man. They'll be the most logic, reasonable speaking and stuff. That's who you want to get in the White House. So yes, y'all want stuff to get done in the White House, man. Y'all want America to officially, man, be great again. Y'all want everybody, somebody to get these people in order in society, man. You gotta have big mama, man. Big mama for the win, man. Elderly black lady, bro. She's the only one that's gonna, get the job done. But anyway, it's like I honestly do not know who to vote for. I already knew who I wasn't gonna vote for, and then the person that I felt like, all right, I'm gonna vote for. I'm like, really? And I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I'm confident I was not the only one, man. Because regardless of how you felt about Trump, we've witnessed the past 4 years how Kamala Harris, was. I don't want to bash her too much. One thing I do give Kamala Harris is, she was professional. Something what we have not seen Trump. Trump can be, a funny person, but yet most of the stuff he says, just like, what the hell are you talking about? Even watching his victory speech last night, I was like, Trump, what the hell are you saying? But it is what it is. Y'all voted for him. And I'm going to get back to that. Unfortunately, Biden, he pretty much, man, he dropped out of the race. Something that we all thought and something that we all felt, should have happened, man. Biden, regardless of what he's going through, man, he's at that age like, all right, I'm done. And, got to be honest with you, man, these past 4 years have not been the best. Me, being, living in a huge, major city, Houston, I've witnessed out of my own two eyes, man, how, the Democrats, y'all got a lot of fixing to do. I'm just going to be honest with that. Me, I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican, man. I've dabbled on both sides, man, and I've realized it's just not for me. Both political parties have major issues that I cannot be loyal to each one. That's just me. It is what it is. I've dealt with a lot of shit from the liberal side, especially these past 4 years, and I've definitely dealt with a lot of conservative, Republican, whatever you want to call them. I dealt with a lot of bullshit. Just me being who I am and the color of my skin. So yeah, it's just not for me. But I just gotta call a spade a spade. This is what it is. In this day and age, man, these past 4 years, Biden, he's done his part messing up the country. Trump did too. Hell, back in the day, maybe 8 years ago, whenever he got, before Biden, that's the reason why Biden got in there, because Trump, was just doing what he was doing. But anyway, when you look at these governor officials, the Democrat, they're just somewhat, they're just not doing their part. When I saw that Kamala, was pretty much going to accept her position and, running for president, I know for a fact, me and a lot of people, man, black, white, women in general, they were like, really? This is where we're at. 2024, this is where we're at, man. We got Trump versus Kamala Harris, which I guess you could somewhat say was a carbon copy of, Biden. And here's the crazy thing. It's what a lot of people were saying, too, these past 4 years. Where was Kamala at? Kamala, Harris, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but anyway. Ma'am, you disappeared. You disappeared. You went MIA. As soon as, that infamous, call to Biden, you're like, well, we did it, Joe. We did it. And like, bam, she just disappeared. You didn't hear from Kamala, man, for I want to say maybe like 2.5 years. Of course, I follow these, media outlets. I watch the news, here and there, especially Instagram, Facebook. I know what's going on around the world. And you do not hear much from Kamala. I know I keep messing up her name, but anyway. Kamala, I'm sorry, but anyway. Me personally, man, I did not see her do much. She just went MIA. And even right now, it's been, almost a day since, Trump won the election. And a lot of analysts, people that I follow, they say the same thing. Kamala waited way too long. She waited the last minute to get the ball rolling on her campaign, and it failed. And here's the crazy thing, man. This is when I knew from the jump Kamala was in trouble. She had endorsements from Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Pretty much all of the heavy hitters. Megan Thee Stallion, another one. She had all the heavy hitters that was backing her. And we did not care. Ladies and gentlemen, this is when we are tired in general, when not even the entertaining category of people could not persuade us to vote for Kamala, which is crazy. We did not care. We did not care about any entertainers. And this also goes to even Trump, too. I know Trump had a plethora of entertainers, man, and, I for one, did not give a damn about it. Like, we done. We tired, man. We quit. We done. We don't care. We love Beyonce. We gonna go to her shows. We love Taylor Swift. Well, I'm not a Swiftie, somewhat, but it's just still. We were done. We did not care who endorsed Kamala at the last minute. We were just done. And I'm already hearing, of course, from a lot of liberal, women. Oh, the black man did not vote for her. Y'all horrible. I mean, well, Kamala may not have unfortunately got the black man vote. But she, from what I'm looking on the news, looking at these, pretty much, man, these political analysts, Kamala did not get the white woman vote either. A lot of white women did not vote for Kamala, which is crazy. So once again, you cannot blame us. Liberals, I'm just saying, hey. I'm not liberal nor conservative, man, but I just call it as it is sometimes, man. You cannot blame the black man. Of course, you had a lot of us, voting for Kamala. Like I said, I have no problems with a woman being president. But when she talked, once again, I'm like, okay, you're saying, you're pretty much telling the people what you're gonna do for women, which is a good thing. What are you gonna do for us, man? What are you gonna do for just people in general? And she did not deliver on that. I gotta, I have to say it. I gotta admit. But hey, it is what it is. The Democratic Party, man, y'all are in trouble. And it's crazy how it's so quiet after the storm, man. So it makes me think, man, what is cooking up? What is brewing? What is about to happen? Because there's something that I didn't know. Trump is supposed to be convicted at the end of the month. He was still, found guilty in New York. Of course, he may not go to jail. This is probably in a power move to where, like, oh, man, we can't, regardless of what he's done, we cannot lock up, the president. But you never know. So, regardless, what you believe in, sad to say, a lot of people did not think Kamala was going to be the right one. Of course, a lot of people, many people, did not think Trump was going to be. I just still can't believe. I'm watching the TV and I'm like, man, Trump really won this shit again. And here's the crazy thing. In this day and age, bro, I wasn't the only one that has, saw pretty much, man, the shift of, a lot of people no longer wanted to, vote Democrat. There was a whole bunch of people. I could be wrong, but I think the first time, man, in society, you have a lot of blacks and Mexicans. They don't want to vote Democrat no more. They're tired of it, especially living in the inner cities. We see how this stuff goes around here. It's just crazy. They were not voting for Democrat. They're retired. I got friends and family in law enforcement, man. They're telling me a few things that goes on. And one of my good friends, he says, I'm sorry, I'm just not voting Democrat. Because what I've seen the Democrats, have this power, man, in the city. Yet I see the city go to shit every night. Homicides, burglars, break-ins, this, that, and the third, just, horrible stuff. And the people that are in power, the Democrats, they do little to know nothing about it. You've seen these people in power stop certain people from trying to fix situations, man. For whatever reason, I have no idea. And so I understand. But yet, out of all the conservatives that we could have had put in the White House, for some odd reason, y'all still back Trump up. Y'all still felt like Trump was the holy mecca to fix everything. And here's the crazy thing about it, man. All right, he won the election. We must hold, his feet to the fire. Everything he said he was going to do, for just people in general, black people, Hispanics, everything. All right, we got to hold him accountable to that. Because me personally, I don't feel like, nothing's going to change. I feel like he's not going to do much for the next 4 years, and he's going to play the blame game. Yes, that's one of the first things I said, man, when he won the election. I went on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and, I spoke my mind, damn it. When I was in the hospital, doctors told me, like, Brandon, man, to release stress, another thing you got to do, man, you got to start speaking your mind, man. You cannot hold anger in, your opinions in. And I'm like, you know what, doctor, you show right. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not a negative person, man. I'm not a problematic person, but sometimes you got to speak your mind. You got to let it be known. But, I'm just like, man, we really got this man here. Regardless, Democrat or Republican, we have never seen a president that's talk so ignorant, man. Very disrespectful. One thing you got to give the body, man, he was professional with the way he talked. Even though most of the stuff he was saying, he probably didn't know what he was talking about. But, he was damn near good at it. He wasn't ignorant. Obama wasn't an ignorant person. Now, y'all know, if Obama even thought about saying half of the stuff Trump is saying now, you already know what he would have been labeled as. But for some reason, conservatives, they like Trump, talking like that. They love certain individuals having that type of badass, attitude. But yet, they have a problem when a specific group of people have that same, energy. But, hey, I could be wrong. I know I'm not. But, So like I say, what's next, folks? Honestly, my personal opinion, regardless of who you voted for, they're not going to save you. I knew for a fact Kamala wasn't going to save us. We've seen what the Democrats done this past 4 years, man. And honestly, man, they have not done much, for black people in general. They haven't done much for, minorities in general, man. It's just, on and on and on. And that's why, honestly, I know a lot of people hate this word, but a lot of us, we woke up and realized, like, hey, you know what? Maybe being Democrat is not the best thing for us. Me and a few of my friends, we've had this conversation before as well. But you also realize being on the red team is not the best interest as well. It's crazy. A lot of black folks, we would be, conservative. Because that's exactly what we are. We're low key. A lot of black people, we're known for being like, hey, we're gonna stay out the way. Hey, we our ancestors in the past, our great grandfathers, we dealt with so much stuff, man. What are we known to do, man? We're just gonna stay out the way. We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna find a way. We have that conservative mentality, but unfortunately, a lot of people, that runs the conservative, we just can't, we just can't be in the same room. And I'm talking about them radical conservatives, man, that just have a problem with black folks doing anything in general. Yes, I'm talking about y'all. The one that, talk y'all shit about the George Floyd situation, the Black Lives Matter situation, even though, of course, it wasn't perfect. Have an issue with black excellence, black-owned businesses. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all type of conservatives. Those are the ones that, I feel very uncomfortable being around. Y'all know who y'all are. Now, I'll maybe make a separate video about that, pretty much expressing, my experience, being a conservative, man, for a few years. So, but anyway, we were just tired, man. Black folks, just people, everybody, America in general, man. We've seen the prices go up, man. We've seen, society, and this is the crazy thing. I really don't see, the prices. I don't blame that on Biden. I know a lot of people like to. I'm sorry, inflation was happening when Trump was still in the White House, man. I remember 2018, 2019, a lot of these prices, man, they would just, just shoot up. And of course, 2020, after the pandemic, you had to blame, okay, the world's been on a standstill for pretty much a year. Stuff is going to go up. It happens. But yet that problem and many other problems that has been happening for the past 3.5 to 4 years, you got to be honest with yourself. The average person, we've done nothing to help ourselves. I was one of the main ones. What I just dealt with a few months back, I said, you know what, man, I'm responsible for, my actions, my well-being. I want to make things right in my life. It's up to me. You cannot depend on anybody. And I've said this, I remember back when I started voting. I remember my early 20s, back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, I said, regardless of who I vote for, bro, you cannot depend on nobody. It's really up to the individual, man. I've been preaching this, man, for the longest, man. You cannot depend on nobody. But yet, in 2024, a lot of people strongly do. Like I said, Trump is in office, all right? It is what it is, he won. All right, Trump, once again, it's up to you. It's up to you to do all those things that you constantly preached and, you complain for Biden not doing these past 4 years. It's on you now, my guy. You talk that big game, complain for 4 years. Now, once again, the ball is in your court. So what shall you do, man? I'm definitely going to be invested in, his movement, man. What is he going to do? And it is what it is, man. Like I said, man. You want to make America great again? You want to make your state, you want to make your town, you want to make yourself great again? Honestly, it's up to you. It's on us in general, man. Because clearly, man, whoever's in power, they don't have our best interests. Regardless of how you may feel about it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. That big ass bucket mega hat, that big ass mega flag, that big ass mega chain, Cybertruck, everything, whatever that you preach, at the end of the day, that's not gonna pay your bills. I say the same thing for the Democrats, man. Being 100% loyal, man, to them, it's not gonna pay our bills. We've seen that, man. Like I said, these past 4 years, man, black folks in general, man, we just no longer want to support the Democrats. We tired. So for the first time, man, the Republican Party, man, y'all had the power to really win the country in general over. And even though y'all somewhat did, y'all picked a hell of a guy to represent. Just saying. But hey. This your boy Bruno. Trilly BTV, man. This is just a random talk. Another current event. I'm gonna keep on making these type of videos. And I had to get that off my chest. Of course, God bless. I love y'all, man. And like I said, you wanna make things right, it's up to y'all. I'm out.